Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session on the Purpose and Meaning series. This one is about what made me search my purpose, specific to work. And in this, I bring to you a story from my own corporate life experience. This one is very interesting, and my intention here with you by sharing my personal experience from my work life is to help you uh, get to learn what really could be a pivotal point in your work life which can help you identify that this is the time to really pause and search your purpose, because that's exactly what happened with me. So let's get started. This one, we would look at some of the red signs, or you know indications we need to read, and which actually can help us first figure out how are we really progressing in our workplace. Are we really purpose driven, or is it that we need to pause, take a break, and really think hard enough, deep enough to find what really is our work purpose? So I hope this particular incident from my life, which nudged me and made me look for my purpose, proves beneficial, informative, and insightful for you as well. So, what really put me in search of my purpose? Before I share with you the story, I would also like to let you know this was a time in my life when I had almost been into the workspace for more than 9 years. So I was not a fresher, I was not somebody new, and I was not really being going through those challenges which typically freshers or people new to the corporate world undergo. I had more than 9 years, in fact, so almost closing to a decade of work experience. And this was when I was given an opportunity to work in the space of L&D, that is learning and development function, which I took over because this opportunity presented to me, uh, it was very close to my heart because it aligned with my values of being a teacher, a trainer, an educator, and also of the the ability to influence mind into awareness, into a path where people can feel more fulfilled, satisfied, and equip them with the knowledge they need and help them build their competence. So, keeping all this in my mind, and I really was very excited with this opportunity, and I made not a single minute of delay and accepted it. But then, after working in here for more than 2 years, there came a time where I was given a special project. This special project was to work as a L&D lead, but this was for a different service line. And in this project, I was to assist the main people, the main leaders in that service line in facilitating some technical trainings. Well, I was not the facilitator there, but my role was to be a L&D practitioner. That's exactly what I thought so. But when it really unfolded, when I actually was thick into this project, what I realized was this project was more of managing logistics. I was not a trainer, I was not facilitating anything. The technical trainings were technical, and therefore I had no expertise in being a facilitator of any of it. And that was not my area. But what I was doing, managing my client and people and the leaders in the service line, was a glorified logistic coordinator working on the attendance, the food, the training workshops, the rooms being booked, the credit hours, the learning hours, how the whole software and technology of LMS, that's a learning management system, was working. So I was responsible to take care of all of that, which was again something new for me because I never knew this was also part of the L&D. And I would often ask myself, is this what I signed up for? And then my dream of facilitation was very confined to few 4-hour sessions on some soft skill training, while 90% of my time was only going in, coordinating, arranging logistics, rooms, attendance, and a lot more. So in this pivotal moment when I was quite disengaged with my work, with the realizations that I would have every single day, one day during one of the session, which had ran a month of this technical training, this I was collecting feedback, and one of the I guess there was one of the participants who was also a senior manager. He turned up to me and he said, I have some feedback for you. And I was a little surprised because I didn't facilitate any training as such. However, I said, fine, please let me know. So he mentioned to me that he didn't really like the flavor of the orange pastries that were served during the tea time. Yes, you heard it right. He didn't really like the flavor, and he kind of gave that to me as a feedback to ensure that this being taken care of. So I was not part of any hospitality role, and this day, this moment was an eye opener for me. The job description of what I thought L&D would be, today was a day where all curtains and veils were lifted. And I realized where I actually landed up in. And then, even though I did not really had any kind of explanation to that manager, I very politely excused myself and moved away from that. But that left me with too many insights which I was not really able to tolerate. And that day I decided this is not what I am building my expertise for. This is not how I would envision my future as a teacher or as an expert. And this is not the role I thought L&D offers. This totally changed me. This experience also kind of was like a blow to all the false assumptions and thoughts I had about this glamorous role, because this was a multinational and I was earning a lot of money and a lot of power and a lot of glamour in it. But in reality, this particular incident was an eye-opener for me. This was completely out of sync with the values I hold about my own self, my competence, my skill, my knowledge, and it was a blow to the way I would envision myself as a knowledge expert in the years to come. And this was after 10 years or almost there. So friends, this story, this episode was where I began to look for my purpose, because I realized if I go on like this, I do not know where I would end up in, but an incident like this made me sit up, take notice, and in fact, the very next day, I invested in somebody very expensive as my coach to help me find my work purpose. Because now I knew I have just traveled completely the wrong track. So I do not know where you are while you're watching this video in your own career life. But if, like me, you have more than 10 or 10 plus years of work experience, and somewhere along the line while you work, I also do understand not every aspect of our job is what we love and like. But then, if you, just like me, have ended up in a role which is very glamorous, the job description is like too good to be true, and then you enter it with a vision, but then when the rubber hits the road, when you really are into the doing of it, into living your job description, and you find yourself totally taken aback by what really the role is, I think, friends, it's also time for you to pause and let's talk. I look forward to meet you. I leave the link for a free consultation call so that I could help you not undergo the pain I did when, for the 1 or 2 years, I stayed in that department fighting my inner demons and my own thought process, and eventually had to really invest in a coach. So don't go that far and commit the same errors I did. Rather, connect. The first call is no charge cost, it's for free. Let's talk and let me help you find your work purpose. Thank you. The link is in the description box where you can submit your details and I'll schedule a call with you. Talk to you soon.